Raving evangelist. This morning we did 3 on how Paul, it was a chief of sinners he claimed himself to be. He writes 2/3 of the New Testament, or like 25% of the New Testament. He was killing God's own people, killing Christians, persecuting them. So I want to talk to you about a couple of cool facts though of how so he claims himself to be a Pharisee of all Pharisees. He was basically like Nicodemus. He's like the rich young ruler. He was like the self-righteous Pharisee that's looking over at the publican saying, I thank you that I'm not like him. I'm, not like the murderers and the unjust and the liars of the world, or the adulterers, right? He says, I do this and I do that, right? It's the same thing. That's what Paul was before he gets blinded on the road to Emmaus. And by the way, Paul gets blinded on the way to, and he believes, right? But it's the difference with Pharaoh. Remember Pharaoh, all those plagues that came? Wouldn't let the people go, right? But he wouldn't believe. That's what it is. He wouldn't stop, Whereas Paul gets blinded and he believes, gets born again, gets saved, writes the New Testament, a quarter of it. You see how he's literally like, before he gets saved though, he says, circumcised on the 8th day or whatever day it was, Pharisee of all Pharisees, talks about the traditions of his fathers and forefathers, all that stuff, man. It's like, what does the Bible talk about? Traditions of men, doctrines of devils. Oh boy, it's all in there, isn't it? This was literally Paul. And then he gets born again and saved and still considers himself chief of sinners. He says, if you've been forgiven of much, you'll love much. If you've been forgiven of little, you'll love little. That's people who've been forgiven of little, love little. That means people just judge the next guy and these guys over here. I'm not like the murderers and the unjust. I'm good. I'm not like the adulterers. I'm not like the guys that kill the Charlie Kirks. I'm not like these guys. No, we're all like them. We're all murderers and liars and adulterers at heart. We need to be born again and saved off simple faith and belief. That's it. So you see the Pharisaical attitudes and all these guys. Nicodemus didn't understand it. Jesus has to say the word believes, believed, or believed 7 times in John 3, 9 to verse 17, I think. Not many verses. The word believe 7 times. Nicodemus doesn't understand. Jesus is like, you're the teacher of all Israel. You don't understand these things. How will you understand heavenly things? You don't understand earthly things. He didn't understand it either, just like the rich young ruler. That's what Paul was before he got born again and saved. But now he considers himself chief of sinners, because we should all consider ourselves chief of sinners so that we can be forgiven of much and believe on Jesus and we'll love much.